meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue. I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall, and if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Welcome to Open Mic America, the first show in 2025. That sounds funny coming off of my tongue. Anyway, I am Daphne Ramiel, your MC, and Mike Simpson is our interviewer today, and Capo Dave Williams is our fearless engineer and also the founder of this wonderful show and the creator and builder of Dandy Hybrid Guitars, which you will hear about later. Our mission is to support your local open mics and your acoustic venues too, where you can go in person and you can see songwriters performing their original music. But tonight, thanks to technology, we get to travel all around the country and see these very same performers in their own living rooms. Without gimmicks and frills, this is the DNA of American music, a tapestry of story and song that's been weaving us together for generations. And now, let's introduce all of our performers, and they will wave to you when I say their name, and I hope I say it correctly. We have John Lawrence and Deborah Westlow, known as Crossroad Creek, from San Antonio, Texas. We have George Eckerd from Decatur, Georgia. We have Sue Schnitzer from Prescott, Arizona. Joseph Isaacs from Columbia, Maryland. And we have Cowboy Bob Uvello. I think I'm saying that correctly. If not, oh, yay, I got a thumbs up. From Boston, Massachusetts. Rich Fassler from Bainbridge Island in Washington. We have Timothy Merkel from Longmont, Colorado. And last but not least, Lawrence Campling from Sacramento, California. So now that we have made all those introductions, let us welcome first John Lawrence and Deborah Westlow, otherwise known as Crossroad Creek, to sing us their songs.
Host highlighted you. Okay.
Okay, we're good.
We should be good. Okay. This is a song we wrote called 18. All of us were feeling fine, driving to the Kansas line where you're old enough to drink cheap wine when you turned 18. Jimmy got his draft board card and in the loop she took it hard. It's gonna send you to the old graveyard, and I can't go to the prom alone. But you're gonna fight that Asian war, but for now you're headed for the Kansas line to drink cheap wine, 'cause you turned 18. Driving back through Bartlesville, Jimmy said he didn't feel too well, and it might be better if I go to jail and to go fight that war. But Jimmy's daddy felt so proud, and Jimmy's mom, she said out loud, Jimmy, stay, the fields need plowed and you're only 18. But you're gonna fight that Asian war, but for now you're headed for the Kansas line to drink some wine, 'cause you turned 18. In Duluth, she married fine, 2 kids, a farm, husband kind, and every now and then Jimmy comes to mind. She remembers 18. Jimmy's folks flew to the mall. They found his name carved on that wall, and his face appeared. They just bawled, Jimmy, you were just 18. But you went to fight that Asian war, but for now you're headed for the Kansas line to wonder why you were just 18. This one we wrote, it's kind of a tale of 2 old lovers that meet years later. Does that sound about right?
Sounds about right. It's called Is That You?
Across the room, is that you? If you saw me standing here, what would you do? Would you stay? I'd like to know. Would you act like nothing happened years ago? We were so young. What went wrong? And the fire in our bodies was so strong. You stood there as I drove away. That lonely night that seems like yesterday. We've chosen to remember our own way. We closed the books, we could not get away. It didn't mean I loved you less. Hope you know it was the very best that I could give. So once again, I'll turn from you. It's just the only thing I know to do. If I knew how you really felt, could I live with the truth about myself? We've chosen to remember our own way. the books, we could not get away. It didn't mean I loved you less. Hope you know it was the very best that I could give.
Very nice.
Beautiful. Wow, that was so beautiful. It's nice to see you again, Deb. But now you are together with John on the screen, so that is so lovely. Let's hand you over to Mike, and we'll find out more about this collaboration and the music.
Hey guys. Hey Deb, how you doing?
Good, good to see
John,
you.
is this your first time on Open Mic America?
This is my first time.
Yeah, well, welcome home, man.
Well, thank you.
Good to hear you.
Deborah invited me.
I'm gonna start off geeky here. So you've got two capos on the Godin
Yeah.
there. You've got one at the 2nd fret and one at the 6th.
This is a full capo. This is a partial capo.
Right. You have the partial E-sus4 shaped capo there on the 6th thing. Okay, very cool. For all who are taking notes. I really found that first song very moving. Are you both veterans?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew Deb was. Yeah.
We're both veterans, and
Yeah. That
yeah.
seeing that wall is a thing, man. I found that song very moving, very moving. Plus, you talked about crossing into my home state. Kansas. There.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Until 1985, you could drink at 18 in Kansas, and
That's
all
right.
of us Oklahoma kids, the minute we turned 18, of course, we got in the car and we headed for Kansas.
Head into
Remember all
Kansas.
the little bars there, every little town along the.
Oh, okay. So right across the state line between Oklahoma and Kansas, there's a little town called Weir, Kansas.
Oh,
Do you know
yeah.
where? Did you ever encounter Weir? My aunt had a tavern there in Weir, Kansas for many years. So
She probably
anyway,
still does.
that's too much about me. Let's talk about you guys. How did you guys come together as a duet?
We're both part of Soldier Songs and Voices organization, songwriting organization with for
Yeah.
the veterans, and we started. We did. I'm not really sure how that all happened. We started collaborating on a couple of songs, and then we said, well, we should make ourselves a
Yeah.
duet. So
Well, hey, so for those who may be in the Texas area there, where would one go to hear the two of you play live?
Maybe the Vine in the Village.
yeah, we play a few places, mostly open mic type places.
We recently had the honor of playing an open mic for Jan and Carol Clark, Guy Clark's two sisters that live down here, and it was kind of a thrill for us to sit in the same chairs that probably Guy had sat in many times. It was
Wow.
really nice.
That's nice. Well, it's really a gladdening, heart gladdening thing for me whenever we get duets. I love duets, and you two do it beautifully. I particularly want to commend you on doing something that is actually more technically difficult than people realize, and that is singing in unison. Male and female voices in unison can be tricky to work, and you have done an excellent job with that. You have a great sound there. So I hope we see you back soon, and thank you very much for joining us for your umpteenth time, Deb, and your first time,
Yeah, I
Josh.
think I lost track. It's been a few years.
Yeah,
She's a
All right.
songwriting machine, that girl is.
yeah. Next time you're on, we'll talk more about how you developed the joint songwriting thing and how that's going. All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn you back over to Daphne Ramil.
Well, thank you. That was beautiful. And now we're going to go to Decatur, Georgia, to hear from George. And somehow your last name just eluded me.
George
Eckerd. George Eckerd. That's right. I was just looking at the Zoom window and not at my notes and like, George. Where do you normally like to play? Is there somewhere in Georgia in your town where you like to go?
Yeah, there are a number of places. There's Waller's Cafe, which is not too far from where I live. There's the Thinking Man's Tavern, which is also on the south side of Decatur.
Love
Decatur
it.
is a small city that's kind of uh, attached to the side of Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then
Th-
there's a place called the Red Light Cafe is another place, which is actually in Atlanta. Those are
yes.
some of the places.
Sounds great. Sounds like a good place to go visit and listen to some music. And now we're going to listen to you. So the stage is all yours.
Okay, all right. This first song I'm going to do is a song about hope. It's called First Bird of Spring, and for some reason my head is being cut off. Let me adjust that so that you can see my full countenance there. There I am. I walked down the street where we lived, where we saw the first bird of spring. I remember the day that it came to us. I remember how we heard it sing. I remember the time we drove for days, not worrying about a thing. I know now that we had just gone away in search of the first bird of spring. There's so much fear and despair in the world, so little reason to sing. So I'll sit with my love in the evening glow, awaiting the first bird of spring. I walked past the park where the indigent lay, spending all their time sleeping. Could it be that they just never heard the song sung by the first bird of spring? The store window has a TV screens with all the warfare and rage and rioting. Would these people stop and give pause if they saw the first bird of spring? There's so much fear and despair in the world, so little reason to sing. So I'll sit with my love in the evening glow, awaiting the first bird of spring. I remember the night my father died, the night that his spirit took wing. I think of my father from time to time. Did he find the first bird of spring? No, I'm not the wealthiest of men. No, I don't live like a king. But I'll sit with my love in the evening glow, awaiting the first bird of spring. I'll sit with my love in the evening glow, awaiting the first bird of spring.
Bravo.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. Joe.
I've been
nice.
looking at the bird on your wall too, the painting of the bird while you sing.
Yeah, that's those are by my friend Guy Robinson, who lives not too far away. He's a kind of a neo surrealist and does lots of interesting paintings. And we have a number, or I have a number of them around the house. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed that. So this next one is a is a more irreverent song. I wrote it about 20 or so years ago, after seeing an auto show on television where they had all of these just huge vehicles, like, you know, 1,000 horsepower V12, this and that, and it just was, it was like a Fellini film. It was incredibly gratuitous seeing all these things, and so I was inspired to write this song, which is called "Bury Me in My SUV." I want to drive to my favorite dealership. I want to sign me a brand new truck pink slip for a big fat Hummer to park in my front yard. I want to show everybody in the neighborhood that the money I'm making is pretty good. I want plenty of power to drive to the grocery store. When Jesus finally calls for me to cross the Sea of Galilee, you can bury me in my SUV. And I don't give a damn about the ozone layer, as long as it's got a DVD player. I don't give a damn about smog and acid rain. When my vision of reality finally catches up with me, you can bury me in my SUV. I want video screens and plenty of wood. I want 500 horses under my hood, sucking gasoline while I drive down to check the mail. I want to blow up Travel Buddy with me, so I can drive in the HOV when I'm going to work in the morning all by myself. When Jesus finally calls for me to cross the Sea of Galilee, you can bury me in my SUV. And I don't give a damn about the ozone layer, as long as it's got a DVD player. I don't give a damn about smog and acid rain. When my vision of reality finally catches up with me. You can bury me in my SUV. I want big tires, I want big wheels, I want big things cause I'm a big deal. I want the things everybody else wants. I want tinted windows to shade the view so you can't see me looking down on you. I want a drill baby drill, bumper sticker on the back. When Jesus finally calls for me to cross the Sea of Galilee, you can bury me in my SUV. And I don't give a damn about the ozone layer as long as it's got a DVD player. I don't give a damn about smog and acid rain. My vision of reality finally catches up with me. You can bury me in my SUV. When Jesus finally calls for me to cross the Sea of Galilee, you can bury me in my SUV.
Ah, ah,
Very nice.
First time I
very.
performed, the first time I performed that out, there were four guys sitting at a table in front of me with their arms sort of crossed like that, with this look on their face like, you ain't talking about my Jimmy boy, are you? So I always like to ensure everyone that no Jimmys were harmed in the course of developing the song.
All right.
That's great. I'm going to hand you over to Mike now.
Okay. Hi, Mike.
Yes, I must say I also have a song about SUV that's not positive, and I've gotten much the same reaction from certain crowds.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, at first people didn't realize that that I was being sarcastic, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna bend over and put my mandolin down here.
Yeah. Oh, is that a mandolin?
Yes, sir.
I thought for some reason I was thinking uke for a while. So the place, that red light place that you play, is that the one that's like just like a bit to the east of that park where the Atlanta Folk Festival is?
Yes, Piedmont
Yeah,
Park.
yeah. Years
Fun
ago,
Amsterdam.
I played in that place with on a Wednesday night. There was a jazz jam, and
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I played there. Yeah, yeah, cool. Well, maybe I saw you there. Wonderful stuff. What if I may ask this without being mocked? What drove you to write the second song?
Oh, bury me in my SUV.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like I said on the intro, I saw this car show on television, and they were all these. I mean, there was just car after car after car that just had gratuitous, uh, you know, 1,000 horsepower, 1,200 horsepower V12s, and I mean, it was just ridiculous. Why would anybody want something like that? I just don't
Yeah.
understand it.
Well, you hope that they're just show cars. Nobody's commuting in them, but
Well, I mean, you see them around, and yeah, it's sort of mind-boggling to me. I mean, there are some people that need like something to tow, like you know, trailers full of bricks and stuff like that. I mean, I understand that.
or the state of Delaware. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first song, what's the title for the first song?
The First Bird of Spring.
First Bird of Spring is the title of it. That's very sweet.
Thank you.
I don't think it's too much mystery in why you would write a song like that. Are you? But you have a painting of the bird. Are you a birder?
Uh, Not. I mean, a little bit. Not really. I mean, I notice birds and I have an interest in them and so forth, and I do find them moving. But
It wasn't that. I just it just seemed like a very good sort of metaphor and symbol
Hmm.
for love and hope
Right.
and so forth.
Yes, it certainly is that, and the song certainly is that as well. Um, you've been on here a couple of times before.
I think this is my second time.
Your second time this time, yeah. Um, what uh, what do you think? How are we doing?
Oh, I enjoy it. I mean, that's obviously why I came back. It's a fun experience, and it's great to see all the different people from all around the country writing songs. I one of the things that I do, I'm involved in this school, Frank Hamilton School here. Frank Hamilton is this amazing man who used to play with the Weavers back in the
Mhm.
early '50s. He replaced Pete Seeger when Pete Seeger left that group, and he played with Pete Seeger and Woody Guthrie and all of those guys. He just turned 90. He's an amazing man, and so there's a music school, and I lead the songwriting group, which is kind of a long way around to bring up why I find it interesting. I think it's just wonderful that there's so many people around all around the country that are interested in songwriting and engage in it and write so many different songs, and it's fun to see the different things that people do that are so creative.
All right. What's your number one tip for songwriters?
Um, write about things that you have done, and don't be afraid to 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 reveal things about yourself. Identify things that have happened in your life that you think other people would relate to. Write songs about them.
All right. Well, with that, we're gonna move you back to definite. Thank you very much, George. I really enjoyed both of those songs. Hope
Thank
to
you
see
so
you
much.
again soon.
Yeah, good to see you again, sir.
Bye.
Wow, George, we couldn't have said it any better ourselves about Open Mic America. Thank you for that. And also your wise words about songwriting and what, that's very special. So thank you. Um, let's see. We are now going to hear from Sue Schnitzer in Prescott, Arizona. And she'll be playing at the AZ Songwriters Gathering on January 25th. That's coming up. And the Glendale Folk and Heritage Festival on March 2nd, which sound like fun things to go to. She also plays some online open mics, Cowboy Rex on Saturday mornings, and sometimes the Music Matters and North Reading Coffee House. So, Sue, the stage is yours.
Thank you. I'm actually not in Prescott. I'm in St. Louis in
Uh-oh.
the spare bedroom at my dad's Brookdale House Senior Facility. He's asleep, but I'm not. So I'm going to start with a song I wrote in 2007. I had to look it up. It was based loosely, well, actually not that loosely, on an article I saw in the paper. And that's all I'll say. Hopefully the song tells you what that article was about. There is a boat that sailed the sea, carrying hundreds of refugees. They stand on the deck, I see it on the news, while diplomats argue about treaties and rules. So many boats have traveled the ocean, men, women, and children just sent back. There are boats, many boats, carrying people on a sea of dreams. There are boats, many boats, sailing for freedom. Once there were ships that sailed the sea, carried millions to the land of the free, chased from their homes or starving they did flee. They were welcomed by the Statue of Liberty. There are boats, many boats, carrying people on a sea of dreams. There are boats, many boats, sailing for freedom. Somewhere tonight, someone is out on the sea, and they're risking everything for a dream. There are boats, there are boats, many boats, carrying people on a sea of dreams. There are boats, many boats, sailing for freedom. There is a boat,
Oh,
Very nice.
beautiful.
That's it.
it's called There Are Boats. Original title was There Is a Boat, and I wrote it on guitar, so it's hard for me to remember how to play it on here. And I don't have a harmonica with me, so I couldn't do the harmonica part. All right. So December was my dad's 98th birthday. My older daughter turned 32. My mom would have turned 96. And back in September, my younger daughter turned 30. So I thought it's about time I wrote a birthday song that wasn't serious about me, you know, reflective. So here we go. It's called It's Your Birthday. And I might need my glasses. This one's brand new. Another year older, you're feeling good. Another party, time to celebrate. birthday, everyone sings. You blow out candles on a cake. Someone makes a toast, glasses clink. You make a silent wish. Another year older, you're feeling good. Another party, time to celebrate. Another year older, you're glowing bright. You deserve to celebrate. Birthday messages pinging all day while you were trying to do everyday things. Look at all your friends gathered round. Ah, can you feel the love? Another year older, you're feeling good. Another party, time to celebrate. Another year older, you're glowing bright. You deserve to celebrate. You've learned that life has ups and downs. You don't need to think about that now. This is the day that's just for you. Come on, savor the moment and soak in the view. Yeah, you're another year older and you're feeling good. You had another party and you celebrated. Another year older, you're glowing bright. You deserve to celebrate. Ah, time to celebrate. You deserve to celebrate.
Yay! Happy birthday!
Yeah, I think I wrote that after my older daughter was telling me the progression of her party night. And my only question was, you're Ubering, right?
That's great. Well, okay. All right, Mike, you got Sue now.
Okay, well, I'm glad of that. Who made your ukulele, Sue?
It's a Nui, Anue from Hawaii. And this gorgeous tenor ukulele, rosewood, spruce, was gifted to me. And I
Oh,
think that's one of the reasons why I play it so well. It's special every time I play it.
cool. Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds lovely.
Thank you.
So you talked about the progression of your daughter's party. Let's talk about another kind of progression. Let's talk about axis progressions. Neither of those songs had axis progressions. What interests you about them? And you want to tell people what those are?
About my chord progressions?
Yeah.
Um, well, I'll start with the second song. I just wanted it to have a punchy feel, because it celebrate. And I love doing this on I love that sound. And
Mhm.
so I hit this chord and then was just, it just came out. There was no real, it
Okay.
was more to get that driving thing I wanted. The other song, I wrote it on guitar, and it was in the key of A on the guitar because because I wanted that A chord sound.
Mhm.
Like on a ukulele, it's a much different sound, but on a guitar, it's kind of a powerful chord.
Mhm.
And an E chord on a guitar to me is a very powerful chord. It's not nearly as powerful on a uke, but on a guitar it is. And that was why I did it in A. And I had an A harmonica, so I was able to do this part on a harmonica.
Well, I was asking about the thing that was on your website there, where you were talking about axis progressions. those.
I did.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you did. The 1-5-6-4. But if you didn't, that's fine. We'll talk about something else.
Yeah.
So when you are writing on guitar, I get about the punchy sounds of the A and the E chords and stuff. Do you write on the ukulele at all?
Oh yeah, I wrote the seconds. I
Second song.
write almost everything on ukulele now, but occasionally I'll have a song that I just like if I want it to be bluesy,
Hmm.
I'll do it on
On
guitar so I
guitar,
can
right?
go in the key of E and get that blues thing going.
Get that booming bass in there. Yeah,
But I'm traveling and all I don't have a guitar with me. I have this ukulele with a
right,
low G, and then I have my travel uke, which is a much higher pitch sound in a way.
right,
So
right. Like a soprano. Yeah.
it's a
Um,
soprano, yeah.
yeah. So when you write on guitar, when you write on uke, does your process differ so sometimes people say they'll write the lyrics first, or they'll be noodling the chords, or melody will hit them first. Is that different between guitar and uke for you?
Um, the process, not really. Usually I start with the lyrics
Hmm.
and then noodle. But occasionally I'll just pull out an instrument and just start noodling and then and then I'll really like what I'm doing.
Right, right.
And I'll
Yeah,
keep doing it until something enters. And if I can't if nothing comes to me, then I might go and pull up like I read a lot of poetry and verse and stuff. So if I'm noodling and nothing's coming to me, I'll think, well, what's that making me feel? And then I'll find something I wrote and see if I can steal from that as the genesis for the song.
see if that'll move you along, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. um
yeah.
so I'm glad to see you again. So you're doing a lot, all this traveling. Is this largely because of family responsibility kind of stuff, or?
Well, I'm in St. Louis for family stuff, but usually
Yeah,
my traveling is because I'm retired and I can.
and
Um,
you can. Well, good on you. I don't know that there's really anything else that I mean, I don't travel much myself, but in terms of when I hear people talk about it, I don't know that I've heard anything that seems to be more effective in driving songwriting than changing your point of view, one way or another. And so traveling certainly does that. Well, good. If you come to California, look me up. We'll find you someplace to play out here.
that sounds like a plan.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Good to see you again, and hope
Yeah.
to see you again soon. And Daphne, back to you.
Well, thank you, Sue. And it is fun to see you playing from a different place and to think about you going all over with your travel instruments and writing your songs. That's very inspiring. And next, we are going to hear from Joseph Isaacs. Welcome back, Joseph, from Columbia, Maryland. And Joseph has a showcase called Music Matters Showcase. And it's on Zoom, something like OMA, and select performers go round robin, performing about 3 songs each, and he runs it. But now he gets to just sit here and play his songs for us. So welcome to our stage.
Thanks, Daphne. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Dave and Mike. I'm going to do a brand new song. Just people think they know everything. No, no, no. Like a turtle knows its aquarium. People think They can see everything from this spot at the edge of the planetarium. But nobody knows what nobody knows what nobody knows what nobody knows what nobody knows. Nobody knows what's at the rainbow's end. No, no, no. Nobody knows what's coming around the bend. No, no, no. Nobody knows what it's like over the edge. No, no, no. Nobody knows how to step back from the ledge. Oh, nobody knows what nobody knows. Nobody knows what nobody knows. Nobody knows what it's like to be someone else. No, no, no. Nobody knows what it's like, the dark corners of themselves. No, no, no. Nobody knows what's left or right or wrong. Nobody knows the secrets of a song. Nobody knows what nobody knows. Everybody thinks that they know what nobody knows. Nobody knows what it's like after you die. Nobody knows what it means to be alive. Nobody knows if there's more outside the universe. Nobody knows. Nobody gets a chance to rehearse. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Nice fade.
Thank you.
Very danceable.
Yeah. I finally got it. So saw that dancing. Thank you for dancing. I have another song that I'm not going to play tonight called "Don't Forget to Dance." So, the second one I'm going to do is an older one, and it's my struggle with gratitude, because like I know intellectually, and I think a lot of us maybe feel this way. Like it's intellectually, you should be grateful, but there's not like a button that you can just press, to just be grateful. It's hard, So, but worth the struggle, because it is good to be grateful for things. I should be grateful for the rain. Fills up our rivers and our streams. It makes our grasses grow, and it makes our rivers go, and it maketh my cup overflow. But it's hard to feel grateful when it's raining. When you're cold, wet and tired, hard to feel grateful. Easier to just get hateful. Hard to feel grateful for the rain, da 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 da. 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 I should be grateful for my failures. Lord knows I've had more than a few. They help me to grow, and they help me to know all the things I don't know. But it's hard to be grateful when you messed up, when you're rejected for the 13,000th time. Hard to feel inspired, more natural to just get tired. Hard to feel grateful for the rain, da 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 da. The rain, da 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 da. The rain, da 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 da. The rain, na 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 na. Hey, hey. And I should be grateful for the pain, for it breaks my heart in two. And it's through that crack that love can grow back. You can do more than you ever knew you could do. Still, it's hard to be grateful when you're hurting, when your feet's first down on the ground. Hard to feel gratitude, more natural to just cop an attitude. It's hard to feel grateful for the rain, da 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 da. 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 Hard to feel grateful for. Don't stop trying to feel grateful for the rain. The rain. The rain.
Great tune, Joe. Very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
really cool, Joseph.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
and thanks for
it
dancing.
was your first dance tune on this show.
But not my last, maybe.
Good,
Maybe it will be.
that's great. That's great. Okay, Mike, take him away.
So Joseph runs the Music Matters showcase, which if you want to contact him and see about playing, but even more if you want to contact him and get so you can, he'll tell you how you can watch one of them. Other than myself, who is occasionally on the show, everybody else is really good, and it's
Including yourself. But yes.
Oh well, thank you. But it's a really it and Open Mic America are my two go-to places to see some great original songwriting and stuff like that. So I want to point that out too. The other thing I want to note is increasingly as I hear you play, unlike Capo Dave, who reserves his position to engineering and stuff and doesn't play on this one, Joseph does play and opens up his thing, and this is, I believe, a compliment, when you open that show, you very frequently cause me to change what I'm going to play during the show
Mm, mm,
because your writing is quite philosophical.
mm-hmm,
It's also quite emotional,
mm-hmm,
and your points are difficult to miss. But
mm,
it's also necessary to listen well to hear some of the depth
mm,
sometimes that comes out in your writing. Can you talk
mm.
a little bit about your craft and how you write?
Wow, that's a huge compliment. Thank you. Yeah. So these days, I've been trying to lean a little bit more into the muse, and a little bit less on my conscious mind. I personally like to write in these different tunings, and I think part of that for me is just like connecting to a sound, finding like some sort of sound that I haven't played before, and really making myself listen. Like I don't know the names of the chords I'm playing necessarily because I'm, playing in a different tuning. I'm not playing in standard, and so that makes me listen. So then usually I'll be noodling around the guitar and I'll find some sort of sound that I like. And then these days, I've just been letting go a little bit and seeing what, like normally my chorus would not be just like nobody knows over and over again, but like the muse was like, no, it's just going to be nobody knows. Sorry, that's it. And like, okay, muse, that's where we're going. Okay, okay. And I think that's allowing me to be a little bit more daring a little bit in some ways, like, because I can blame it on my muse.
Yeah, you have somebody to offload the blame on. So that first song, I absolutely adored the line about the turtle
Oh,
and
thank
the
you.
terrarium. It's just
Hmm.
like that's not a
Hmm.
point of view you get a lot in singer-songwriter stuff. The turtle's point of view, that was cool.
Exactly.
And the
It's
second one,
funny because I
go
did do
ahead.
like a little Google search, like for before, like, while I was writing that song, I like did a little Google search to see if anything popped up that gave me ideas. And like on the Google search, there was absolutely nothing listed for what people don't know. Apparently, according to Google, we know everything.
Well, its founder certainly thinks he does. So, yeah. Second song, interestingly, for me, evoked remembrances of discussions that I had with a guy I knew who was a science fiction writer,
Mhm.
considerably older than me, really a friend of my mother's more than me originally. But he had a well-established opinion that gratitude
Mm.
always involves a certain concomitant of resentment. And I think your
Mm.
song reflected that to some degree.
Mhm.
We're
Mhm.
grateful. We're not necessarily happy that we're grateful. You know,
Mhm.
we kind of resent the rain,
Mhm.
spoiling our picnic, even though we should be grateful for it. You know,
Mhm.
I've read any number of songs talking about being grateful for the rain, particularly here in California, where we have had
Mm.
long periods of drought. Um,
Right.
that kind of thing. What do you think about that? Do you think that that was an
Mm.
underpinning of what you wrote there?
Yeah, I mean, it's like super hard, right? Like, like I think our natural default is not towards gratitude. I think that's um it is something you have to actually like try to develop. I mean, it's like something or remind us. And I think, that's why I think I do play songs about gratitude is because like there are things to be grateful for, and it is important to keep track of that. I think because it'd be easy to sort of get lost in all my like voice of like complaints of like, but hey, there's a lot of good stuff going on here. I'm here. I'm on this planet that like how did this even exist? How am I even here? How is this happening? And I have this opportunity to have this moment, and I let all the cranky stuff get in the way of that. But on this other hand, like if you just like when I first wrote that song, it didn't have that part about like how hard it is, and I felt like that was missing because it is super super hard to be grateful. And I my default is to go to the cranky voice and just be like, well, this and this and this, so like I got to play that song every once in a while to just remind myself, no, that's, there's good stuff too.
Yeah. Well, some of the good stuff is hearing you play. I really enjoy that. And thank you very much for what you do on Music Matters.
Thank you.
I hope I'll see you on here a little more often, if
Love
you can
to.
manage it. The thing I'm going to do now is send you back to Daphne and thank you for your music.
Thank you guys.
Oh, yes, indeed. And we are grateful for you. Well, for all of you also. All right, now we're going to take a break. Just a little short public service announcement. So, did anybody see our last show? Wasn't it exciting? Rich Fassler, who has hosted and performed many times, he got lucky right on the show. That's right. He won a dandy hybrid guitar, handmade by Capo Dave. As a matter of fact, a little birdie told me that Rich Fassler paid a visit to Capo Dave's guitar shop last week, and they met for the first time in person. How wonderful is that? I mean, this OMA world is a pretty magical one, isn't it? So, but anyway, if you were disappointed that you didn't get a dandy hybrid guitar uh, by winning one, there's other ways to get one, of course. Don't worry, you have another chance. Everybody who is on the show, either performing or hosting, has a little bit of a ticket, has one ticket in the fishbowl that Dave puts there every single time for every single appearance. And Capo Dave is collecting all these tickets for a drawing on December 7th of 2025, which is this year. So anyway, what makes Dandy a hybrid guitar? So this is what Capo Dave likes to say. If a good archtop guitar got married to a D28, their kid would sing like a dandy. So that's what it means. And you will find a link to the dandy hybrids at the bottom of the openmicamerica.com homepage. I think there's also a link on the description of this YouTube video. So go check it out after the show because we have a lot more. Well, we have 4 more people to hear from. And which brings me to Cowboy Bob Uvello from Boston, Massachusetts. And he does a regular gig at the Union Brew House, the Cave, South Shore Folk Music Club, and others. Okay, take it away, Cowboy Bob.
This is called Lost Rivers. One day it got too much for him, so he walked into the desert sun. Never heard from him again. I don't suppose we will. I don't suppose we will. Maybe he took another whole wife. Maybe he lost his life looking for a river that he never found. River that he never found. Either way, it's very short, bittersweet at best. If you lose your life in the desert heat, on the frozen city streets, on the frozen city streets. took a northbound train, lives by another name on the cold Canadian plain. Maybe he stayed in the sun too long, now he is insane. Yeah, now he's insane. But either way, it's very short, bittersweet at best. If you lose your life in the desert heat, on the frozen city streets, on the frozen city streets. One day it got too much for him, so he walked into the desert sun. Never heard from him again. I don't suppose we will. Maybe he took another whole life. Maybe he lost his life. Looking for the river that he never found. Out to the river he never thought he'd ever find.
Very nice.
Thank you. Just a quick guitar swap and I'll be back.
Just like a professional. Except nobody's handing it to you on the stage.
No. my roadie quit.
Nah, I saw your roadie in the back there turning off the amp. Come on now.
Okay. So, you know, when I'm playing out live, if I do a song like this, I'll say this next thing, and if I get one glimmer of... No, Tracy. If I get one glimmer of awareness, I consider it a success. So with this next song, I'm going to fulfill my haberdashery responsibility. This is called Dreams of Montana, and it's a true song. All of the events that I mentioned did happen. I love Montana. Spent time there working on a ranch and playing in little cowboy bars, where once I actually did see somebody get thrown through a plate glass window. Actually happened. Excuse me. As you might have noticed,
I'm assuming it wasn't you.
It wasn't me, thankfully. This is Dreams of Montana. those icy blue eyes. White peaks surround us, it's 1975. Sun's heat caresses our summer brown skin. Somehow I believe these days will never end. Time leaves only memories, yours or someone else's of you. Flashes of light on a river racing through deep canyons. Time flowing by. Long days of endless blue skies, cold nights filled with song. Like cries of coyotes out beyond the light of our fire. Black skies, bright with stars. Long roads lead to small towns. We're singing songs in old cowboy bars. Time leaves only memories, yours or someone else's of you. Flashes of the light on a river racing through deep canyons. Time flowing by. Dreams of Montana, those icy blue eyes. White peaks surround us, it's 1975. Somehow I believed those days would never end.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Okay, now that you've put down both guitars, it's time to talk to Mike Simpson.
Hey, in your chair there, Bob? Good. So I think you certainly fulfilled your haberdashistic responsibilities very beautifully there. That was nicely done. Hey, you have a very naturally Western feel to a lot of what you do. What drives that? What makes a song a cowboy song to you?
Well, you know, I'm glad you asked that. spent a lot of time trying to come up with a simple way to explain to folks the difference between Western music and country music, which of course a while back was called country western, and what I came up with was that Western music really relies a lot on imagery from nature, mountains, rivers, sky, and that sort of thing, whereas country music, not so much. As far as the rest of your question, it's funny. It only occurred to me fairly recently that I think a big part of the origins of my love of the West and cowboys was that when I was a kid growing up, just about everything on television, every hero on television had a cowboy hat on, from the Lone Ranger to Roy Rogers and you name it. So those were my early heroes, and strangely, that connection didn't even occur to me until very, very recently. And then I've spent a lot of time in the West, as I mentioned. I worked on a ranch in Montana, and
Yeah.
long answer to a short question.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, it's a deep question. I really like your description of how Western music separates from country music. Yeah, and I think about heroes. I recently saw somebody on television, and I don't really follow modern country musicians that much, but somebody was asking, well, how did you get into this music? And they said, well, and they were probably 30 or so years younger than me, and 10 years younger than you. That they said my heroes were cowboys, and then when I grew a little bit older, my heroes had guitars.
Yeah.
And so country music has people wearing cowboy hats with guitars, so it was a natural evolution word. So there are other folks out there who feel as you do. What can I ask, why do you play which guitar for a song? What puts a song on a certain instrument for you?
Well, the simple answer is that I really love finger picking that Taylor T5. There's something about it that really lends itself to that. And conversely, I really don't like strumming it all that much. For some reason, I can't really. I can tell you what it is. On the acoustic, there's a bounce back on the strings.
From the heavier strings, yeah.
Yeah, you hit it and it bounces back, and I can't get that. I don't get any of that on the Taylor. So I'd say that's probably the simple differentiation between the two.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you sound great playing both of them, and I love your stuff, man. I just
Thank you.
I perk up when I see, after I sign up to do these interviews well before I have any idea who's going to be on the show, right? But I always perk up when I see your name on there, because I love your stuff. Yeah. Great to have you.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure we'll see you again sometime here soon, and I'm going to turn you back over to Daphne Ramil.
Real quick, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that the format of this show is just wonderful. It's the best.
Oh my, thank you so much.
Dave and Daphne get the credit, I think, entirely for the
Absolutely, I love
formatting.
it.
Yeah.
We're glad you love it, and you keep coming back. That is so good. Thank you, Bob. Well, next we have somebody who is on the show sometimes as a host, a wonderful one, I must say, and sometimes as a performer, also a wonderful one, and that would be Rich Fassler from Bainbridge Island in Washington State. And he likes to play at the open mic night at Fletcher Bay Winery on Bainbridge Island. Also virtual open mics like this one and Joseph Isaac's Music Matters Showcase. And he also performs with the Harmony Wombats. I love their name, around Kitsap County. And this Friday, he's going to be at the Hood Canal Brewery in Kingston, Washington, just in case you're there. Stop in. He also is the lucky winner of the Dandy Hybrid guitar.
This
Oh
is
my
it.
gosh, you're going to be playing it now?
Come
Oh,
on, do you think I could
well,
come
you
on the
better
show and not-
actually. Yes, yes. You're right about that. But anyway, no, yes. Welcome, Rich, and take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Daphne. It is true. Wednesday of last week, I got in my SUV. Actually, it's a small SUV, George, and I drove 3 hours down to the Dandy Hybrid factory. And it was tough getting through security, but I made it through. And I get to play a lot of different guitars that Dave had, and got to pick the one I wanted. So remember that, all of you people watching this and performing, that every time you're on the show or involved in the show one way or another, your name gets in the fishbowl, and you too could win. So here we go. So I'm gonna play a couple tunes on my new Dandy Hybrid guitar. First one is called "This Little Song for You." Hello, morning. It's 8 o'clock. Sweatshirts on, I'm out for a walk. Smiling at people, stopping to talk. It's just another day. Got a secret deep inside. Special lady I'd love to walk by. So beautiful, she makes me sigh almost every single day. Sun may shine, the sky may rain. When I'm near you, I feel no pain. Like a sweet cup of honey to my brain. I'll never get the blues. It's the way you walk, it's the way you smile. It makes me wanna walk down that aisle. But you never notice me, so I guess meanwhile I'll write this little song for you. Ah, the many times I've tried to say hello, but we're from different worlds, I know. If only for the chance just to see our friendship grow. But until that moment happens, I'll just keep on dreaming. The many times I've tried to say hello, but we're from different worlds, I know. If only for the chance just to see our friendship grow. But until that moment happens, I'll just keep on dreaming. It's a Friday night, I'm in the bar, singing songs with my guitar. You're sitting at a table not too far, and I can look at you. Night gets late, lights get dim. There you are going home with him. When tomorrow comes, I'll try again to sing my little song for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, now I have to switch capos, and then make sure it's still in tune. So bear with me here for a minute.
We tune because we care, huh?
That's
Yes,
right.
We tune
That's
because
right.
we can.
that too. And I see the capo is not all the way across all the strings. So
Oh,
you're
hey,
being
hey,
tricky.
hey! This must be in high definition.
Oh yeah, we're watching.
This is a very special capo. I like this capo. This is, I think Diodario makes it. It's a dad-gad capo. It's not really dad-gad. It's kind of dad-gad in E, but it's very cool. All right. Okay. Let me switch. Let me switch songs here. This little one is called "A Man's Tale," and like I said, I bought this capo, and so far I've written a couple songs on it. It just lends itself to kind of noodling with, and then the songs kind of pop out. Okay, "A Man's Tale." He was driving south on 101, not a lot to see. Endless fields of farmland as far as they could be. It was 69, a young man in time, the world was open wide. Off to get some smarts for life's big ride. Well, he said goodbye to all his friends, some of the family too. Left behind the boy he was before, going through that door. He was driving north on the 101 in the summer of 73. Endless dreams of things to come, big opportunity. His degree in hand, circuits of sand, gonna change humanity. With no way of knowing where that road would lead. Well, he said hello to his sweet wife, sons 1, 2, and 3. He made a life that grew into much more he dreamt before. Well, the years they pass, they go so fast. You're on a roll, then you lose control. Without a care, yeah, without a prayer, we reach our goals, but we keep our soul. He was driving south on 101, there was way too much to see. Endless fields of buildings as far as they could be. He had hoped for more by 2034, but it wasn't meant to be. But he had no regrets, a life full of harmony. Well, he said goodbye to his sons and wife, the rest of the family too. More peaceful than he had before, going through that door. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
You must live on a very creative island, Rich.
Well, the weather's so bad here that we just sit around inside and play our guitars.
Oh my God, it doesn't sound so bad. Look at the results. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, you want to talk to Rich?
Hey, Mike.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, come on
guess.
down.
I guess so. Even if he did win that guitar,
I must say, I was hoping I'd win. I was bummed the first year when I didn't win, and and it was a miracle. and it's great. I love the guitar. It does have a different sound than my other six string acoustic. Um, and yeah, I'm looking now to get a pickup for it, so I don't have to play in front of a microphone.
Yeah, I put a pickup in mine. If you have my email, if you want to get in touch and hear what it sounds like on a Zoom or something, I'd be happy to help you out.
That'd be great because there are tons of different kinds of pickups, right? I
Yeah,
mean, and who knows what you can believe and what you can't believe, but
we tried my guitar guy and I tried 8 different pickups before he settled on the one that we used in this one. So um, anyway,
yeah,
enough
I'll
of
get in
that.
touch.
The other people are all going, "Shut up, Mike." Okay. I just want to point out that there was one little slip there in the introduction. Rich Fassler is also, as a staff member, has also been an interviewer
True.
a number of times. But my contract says that no one else can be named as an interviewer when I'm interviewing.
No,
Um,
no, you do a great job of interviewing. It's too much work for me. That's why I just do the emceeing.
yeah, well, not that much. And I want to know, you've mentioned sweatshirts a couple of times here, and I just want to make sure that when you do your band sweatshirt,
So
it has to have a pouch
we'll keep that in mind.
because
You know,
wombats, right?
yes,
That's
yes,
good.
yes, yes.
So, talk to me a little bit about how it's different for you using the partial capo. The one that you used there is, I think, one of these, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah, it's one of these, right? Yep.
interestingly, things work slightly differently if you use one of these. This is the Shub product,
Yeah.
and it's a little more friendly to staying in tune for one thing, but there's actually a difference in the sound that you get across the 3 strings. Is
Interesting.
that one and the much more hard clamping this one here. So what do you find? How do you find that inspiring? What is it that moves you to do something with that?
Right. So, you can play some normal chords and they sound a little different, right? And then one of the chords, I think it's the A minor, when you play it with this on, it just has a whole different kind of feel to it. And you can make as you can, when you detune your guitar or tune it to different settings, right? You play different strings and strum across, and it just sounds different, right? And so I get that with this capo, and so I can sit there for 15 minutes or so and just kind of screwing around and well, yeah, that sounds kind of neat. And when I play with this chord, that sounds kind of neat. And when I do a little lead here, now I've got some other strings in the background, and so that's the kind of thing that happens. And I've noticed with this capo, you can put it on the 2nd fret and play D kind of D's and G's and A's. And if you move it up to I think it's the 4th fret, you can do the same thing with the C-shaped chords,
Right. You can
right?
play. You get
It's
an
an
E
E.
basis out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, it causes things in my brain to react differently, and that leads to different kinds of tunes and different
Right.
kind of chord progression. So
And as
that's
you
what I really love this.
Yeah, as you point out, it's not just the different positionings and that kind of thing that's on it. There is a thing called relative string tension sonority, which is changed by using a capo in any case. We all know that our guitar sounds not just changed in pitch, but if we capo, particularly if it's not just at 1, or like that, it has a different sound. And this utilizes a mixture of the open strings and that to give it's cool stuff. Yeah, it really is. Any specifics on how it affected the writing of the second song?
What, using this capo? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that little bit in the beginning, which I flubbed up in the middle, the, kind of a little lead,
The ascending third line.
yeah,
in the middle there,
yeah, that thing. That was, I think, the first thing that came to me. If I was just using a regular tuned guitar, I wouldn't be able to play that. I could hit the two notes, that my fingers, were on those strings, but the other strings that I hit at the same time, wouldn't have sounded as pretty as as nice, right? And so, and also, there's another little chord that I play on there, and I know someone had mentioned it earlier. I think it was Joe who said, "I don't know what that chord is," because the strings were tuned differently, but I like the way it sounds, and so I slip in one of those too. It's some kind of mutation of an A chord, I believe, and it slides into a G, and it sounds really nice. And so, with a regular tuned guitar or just a regular capo on there, I don't get that chord. I tried to play it without this special capo, and it just does not sound the
Didn't
same,
work, yeah.
right? So that's why I love, every once in a while, I love just putting this on and kind of letting my fingers just do what they're going to do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's a waste of 15, but it's never a waste of 15 minutes or 20 minutes when you're on your guitar, right?
Right.
I mean,
No.
good
Anything is
for you.
potentially inspiring. Well, two lovely songs, Rich Fassler, and
Thank you very much, Mike.
it's a very nice guitar you got there. Very
It-
nice guitar indeed. And
It is.
we should connect, because I do a lot of stuff with partial capos. There's a zillion other things that we could talk about on the.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All
I'll
right,
be in
man. Well,
touch.
I'll see you on the flip side there, and back here, of course, either as staff or playing.
You got it.
Yes, thank you, Richard and Mike. You'll probably see each other on another show, just working together sometime in the next weeks.
And thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
Yay!
Had a great time.
All right, now we're headed to Longmont, Colorado, to hear Timothy Merkel. He likes to play at the Old Gallery in Allen Spark, Colorado, and the Bootstrap Brewery in Longmont, Colorado, and on Open Mic America. Timothy, the stage is yours.
Thank you. It's so great to be here. Really been enjoying everybody, and especially the use of the partial capos, which I am partial to. All right, this first song is a song I call Leaving Feathers, and when I introduce it out live, I like to tell this little pictorial story of, when you're reading a comic strip and somebody goes flying out of the screen real fast, there's like this, and you see paper and clouds of dust and feathers kind of floating in the scene. It's to simulate somebody running out. Well, that was what I envisioned when my girlfriend at this time left me, and I wrote this song called Leaving Feathers. Here we go. I never fully believed in angels before. This beautiful one flew out of my life. The evidence shone right in our door. She left feathers in her flight, redefining shadow, recalibrating darkness and light, resetting boundaries, leaving feathers in her flight. My windows were opened in case she flew by, welcoming her in the wink of an eye. In fact, I prayed with all of my might. She could I have known that you were an angel? And to this earth I am so prone. Fly back home to me, darling. I've been grounded since you've flown. I can handle loneliness, but I don't want to be alone. Servants of fire, I've heard them define the angels working among mankind. But her and I'm making even brighter lights, leaving feathers in our flights, redefining shadow, recalibrating darkness and light, resetting boundaries, leaving feathers in our flight.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So now I'm going to apply the capo. Thusly, I will put it on the A, D, and G string. I know you can reverse it, but and I couldn't agree more with Rick. It just, or Rich, it just opens up a world of creativity and songwriting. So this is a song I wrote when I moved from Chicago to Colorado about 14 years ago, and it's kind of an analogy of the brutality and the beauty of the mountains, or the harshness of the mountains, and the same kind of difficulty there can be in a relationship, right? The good and the bad. And I call this Colorado and You. The morning sun on the flat ice shadows and spreads. My thoughts of you are as sundrops on the breeze, moving in stillness and constant in change. I will always be grateful for these, Colorado and you. Brought me through changes, not always easy, it's true, but I don't regret life's difficulties, for out of my shadow I have truly emerged, exposing both the lead and the gold in me, like Colorado can do. Colorado can do. Harsh and heavy as granite, and bitter brush delicates. The spice spice of life is such variety. The air thinning of pine scents at 12,000 feet. So scary and so safe at once to me. Like Colorado and you. Colorado and you. You took me up and showed me the ropes, and you sent me packing when I dashed your hopes, and you let me back in showing how to forgive. How could I want anything else but to live in Colorado with you? Colorado with you. With you.
Oh my gosh.
Cool song.
Thank you, Timothy. That
Thank you.
just took us to Colorado.
I hope so.
As a matter of fact, somebody on the YouTube comment said you made them miss Colorado.
Nice.
I don't know who that is, but evidently you will when you see it. And in the meantime, okay, Mike, I'm going to hand you off to Mike.
All right. Well, I've been doing it all night, so let me start off with the gearhead thing. That's one of the newer guilds, right?
Actually, it's an older guild. It's a
Older
D70. It's a D70, the limited edition. They made like 225 of them back in the 80s, late.
Oh,
90s.
okay. Okay, it's a 70. All right, that's
Yeah, it's
I
a
was
D.
having
It's a
trouble-
glorified D40, really.
Right, but yeah, but it's rosewood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So first off, very nice work with the partial capo, emphasizing the size and power of the sound in the guitar, translating it and moving back and forth with how hard you're hitting the low strings and how much you're pushing it for the various moods that I live in California. We've got 700 climates and that kind of thing. But people don't realize that Colorado does too. I mean, you don't like the weather, move 10 miles.
Exactly.
It's like that too. And the song captured a great deal of that.
Oh, thank you.
So I think that was cool. Nice use of the partial capo for that. The interesting thing to me, though, with the two songs, how often is beauty really the focus of what inspires you in songwriting?
Oh boy. Well, much like what Joe was talking about earlier, I really try to live my life with a mantra of an attitude of gratitude. And there's so much to be grateful for in Colorado with beauty. I lived in the concrete jungle of Chicago for 37 years, and coming out here finally and seeing the mountains and the beauty, it inspires me every day. Just looking out the window, driving towards the mountains. I live about 20 minutes from the Flatirons, and so yeah, beauty speaks to me a lot and gives me a lot of gratitude in my heart. So
yeah, well, you transmit it very well. What's the title of the first song?
the first song was "Leaving Feathers."
Leaving Feathers. Okay. I guess I see. Now, tell me, how does that relate to the theme of the song, particularly? How is it descriptive of it?
Well, as I was describing it, it was a scene of how fast my girlfriend left me. And, when you see somebody go flying out of a comic strip slide, there's kind of like this, and then
Whoosh,
a cloud of
yeah.
dust and feathers and
Yeah,
paper.
yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
that's what it was.
All right, that's
an
what-
analogy.
Yeah, but
And she came back to me just as fast. She's now my wife. So.
oh well, there you go. There's the beauty in that one. Yeah, very good. So this is your first time here,
Yes.
and I tend to ask first timers, what do you think of us? What do you think?
I think it's wonderful. I saw my dear friend Eric Erickson from Burlington, Wisconsin, up here. I don't know, a month or so ago, maybe a couple of months, and my other good friends Tim McCarsky and his wife Susan turned me on to it, and I just like Cowboy Bob said, it's just a wonderful format. I love it. It's great. Thank you for the technical assistance. I've been afraid to do this kind of thing without somebody like yourselves
Yeah, it's
helping me get set up before we started.
part of my job. Happy to help. And thank you so much for joining our ranks. We will look forward to hearing more songs about beauty and perhaps like Leaving Feathers, things that are perhaps a bit less beautiful but still stirring. We will wait for that and see you when you come back. And by
Thank
the
you
way,
very much.
welcome home.
Thank you very much. Good to see y'all.
Yes, Timothy, thank you so much for joining us. And you're not all in black and white. There's a little color there, and maybe the music brought it on. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you so much. And now to take us home, we have Lawrence Campling from Sacramento, California. Lawrence, it's all you. We're going to unmute you unless you want to do it yourself.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. It's great to be back. I'm trying to remember whether this is my second or third time, but there's some really familiar faces here. It's good to see you again. So thank you very much. I'm going to start with a recent song, my most recent composition. It's called Heavy Heads. Heavy heads, we are born into our time. With heavy hearts, we mourn for those who find the path too steep, the shame too deep, the grief too great, the hour too late to abide. And were we deaf, my friends, and were we blind, or too removed by then to read the signs, but those of us who knew them then struggle now to comprehend a gap so wide. Then I get to wondering why I persist in looking for answers I know don't exist. It's the same old vain attempt to explain the final decision to cancel the pain and be free. Oh, mercy. Well, I've been blessed to never feel that way, with my bag of tricks to keep the beast But if the ice should begin to crack, throw me a line and pull me back to your side. They were born into their lives, and in my heart I know how hard they tried to hold them high and keep the pledge to step away from the edge and just abide.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
That was really great.
Pretty nice.
Thanks, folks. So, I'm sorry, but I have to do a little bit of retuning here. So bear with me. That was, I'm really interested in all the tonight there's been so many partial capo use, because that's something I haven't explored yet. I've explored a lot of open tunings, but I just recently bought a book about partial tunings, so maybe we can talk about that. But anyway, let me retune. That was an A-7, open A-7, so this is an open D that I'm gonna work my way to here, so just bear with me.
Well, it's even interesting to hear how you tune it. So there.
Because of the headphone, I can't really hear you.
It's interesting to hear how you tune it. So there.
Oh, okay. All right. So that was a. So here we go. Open tuning into just a full open D here. Which I'll have to redo, of course, as soon as I put the capo on. All the way down to A on the B string. Okay, we're more or less there. And strangely enough, it makes both of these songs more or less in the same key, despite the open tuning change. But, so we're back up to an F here. Okay, so this next song is called Thank You for Asking. Forgive me if I've seemed preoccupied. There's been some changes since I changed my mind. Things that seemed important just yesterday are just fading away. A murmuration spirals across the sky. An avalanche sweeps down a mountainside. Every random thing synchronized on the great wheel we ride. Thank you for asking. We're doing fine now. I'll leave the gate open. There's always some fine wine to share. Find us where the cats relax and the old dogs don't care. I must have been around 15 or so. I heard about the art of letting go. And in the years it took me to understand, so much fell through my hands. But thank you for asking. This evening is fine. The windows are open. The sound of guitars fills the air. Find us where the cats relax and the old dogs don't care. Thank you for asking. Everything's fine now. Just give us a heads up. There's always some time and room to spare. Close to where the cats relax and the old dogs don't care. So forgive me if I seem preoccupied, but something changes when you change your mind. Things that seemed important just yesterday just fade away.
Yowza.
Wow.
Very good.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Lawrence. You didn't only just take us home, you like took us to a whole nother world. Wow. Okay. Mike, handing you over to him there.
Hard to know where to start. So let's start with the easiest thing. What's the vintage on that hand-built Yamaha?
Oh, it's not a hand built. It's an AR something or the other. I got it maybe 10 years or so ago, and I love it because it's great for recording because it's got a lot of built-in mic. What do they call it? Mic replication. 3 different microphone types, and mic close or distant. And some nice EQ stuff.
Is that one of the Fishman rigs?
I think so. Yes. So it's an AC3R.
Okay, it's an AC. All right, yeah. They don't advertise that as handmade, but it's essentially true for those.
Is it right? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
that's
Oh,
that's
good
in
to
the
know.
other factor. Anyway,
Oh, that's good
won't
to know.
geek out on you here. Except about the use of the tunings. That song, the second song, the first song is great, but the second one really grabbed me, so I'm going to focus on it.
Okay.
The swerves that you take in that thing lyrically, backed up by a combination of movement, but then pedaling those high string notes constantly throughout a high, the low drone, we hear that all the time in alternate tunings, the D string
Right.
just being pounded, right?
Right.
But that pedaling that high stuff against your melody that is moving very sinuously, through everything there. Talk a little bit about how you arrived at the end.
Oh wow, I'm trying to remember. I mean, as a couple of people, noted earlier. Rich, I think, it's like I'll use open tunings to jolt me out of my old habits,
Mhm.
and I'll just start like the first song to take you back to that. That was I have a whole book of open tunings, and I was flicking through it, and that one had been circled. I don't remember circling it, but I thought, well, that's a sign. I should start to work on that. And it just, when I came up with this little riff, and that really determined the course of the whole song. It took a long time to arrive at the destination, but so that's how it works, really. Even with the open D, I do a lot of stuff in that open D tuning. I love that open D tuning. It's so friendly, even for taking songs that, I've covered a lot of songs that weren't written in open tuning as far as I know at all, but they translate very well. So I think, again, I just can't remember. I think I was just like messing around, with the chord shapes, and yeah.
Well, I just have to say that was a sterling example of the best kind of use, as we've had some others here tonight, best kind of use of alternate tunings, whether it's like you're
Thanks.
doing there, which is truly retuned, or whether it's a technical tuning that uses a partial capo or something like that. We've had a lot of good stuff on that there. I really like that song. How do we get a hold of your music?
Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation. Okay.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff. That the first song I haven't really recorded properly yet.
Okay.
But the second song,
Do.
Thank You for Asking, is actually on Reverb Nation, fully arranged with multi-tracked.
Right.
And it's interesting because I have a very old friend in England who has his own little label. And he's put out a lot of my stuff in the past. And in recent years, we've gotten pretty sophisticated, whereas I'll send him projects track by track and he'll remix them. So if you go onto Reverb Nation and look at the Thank You for Asking EP, you'll hear the fully fleshed out version of it, Somewhere Else on Reverb Nation is my home mix of it, which is very sparse. I have all of these elements, and he's very maximalist. I'm kind of minimalist, and he's a maximalist. So he took all of my tracks and just smashed them together. So it's very full. You'll hear a version of that song that is very full. And then another version, which the vocals are stripped away from completely, and he's done a total remix on it, and it sounds like something very experimental. It's very interesting.
Yeah, very nice stuff. Now on Reverb Nation there, I'm looking at the interesting creature that's there on the picture. And are there downloadable things there?
Yes, everything's
Okay.
downloadable.
All right. Very good then.
Everything's downloadable.
Well, thank you very much. Not your first rodeo here, right?
No, as I said, I was trying to remember if it was my second or third time on. I'm thinking it must be my third time because there's too many familiar faces here for it to be. Daphne's saying third time, so yeah, I think she's right. But I love it. It's just great. I haven't been able to be back as frequently as I'd liked for reasons of having to travel for family health reasons and stuff. So, but I think it's great. It's so good to take a song like the first song, which is sort of hot off the press, and get an audience for it. I love that.
All right, Lawrence, thank you so much. Wonderful music.
Thanks, Mike.
I understand from your accent that you're not from around these parts, but originally, welcome here, and we love hearing you. We love having you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. I want to go ahead, Daphne. You can move the thing over, but I want to keep talking just for a moment. I just want to make sure that we ask everybody who lives, basically east of the Rockies, be safe, take care of yourselves, because this 10-year storm that's coming in there looks pretty ugly. So I hope you'll all be well and safe and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, I second that, Mike. Absolutely. Good to remind us about that. That's all true. Wow, you sure took us home, Lawrence. I am still like recovering from your song. Um, we'd like to thank their performers here one by one. And that would be John Lawrence and Deb Westlow. You can wave if you'd like. George Eckerd, Sue Schnitzer, Joseph Isaacs, Cowboy Bob Uvello, Rich Fassler, Timothy Merkel, and Lawrence Campling. And also thank Mike Simpson for his wonderful interviews where we get to know our performers and our creators even better. And thank you to our founder, Dave Williams, Capo Dave, for conceiving of this and making it possible. We're always here on the first and the third Sundays of every month. So the next one will be on January 12th, same time, same station. And in the meantime, check out our website. You can see a list of all the places where the performers like to perform, like real live brick and mortar places. You can find links to all of their music if you want to hear more of it. Also check out our YouTube channel, has archives. It will have this show archived as well with all the comments. And now we're going to have everybody make sure they are muted. And this was a wonderful show, so we can all wave bye and say good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.